In the headlines, the Ministry of Agriculture has named Colmore Shillingford as Farmer of the Year. In news from the region, IMF says Haiti's economy will stabilize at 1.5% next year. And internationally, U.S. FBI Director Christopher Wray to resign before Donald Trump takes office. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
Christmas in this year.
Can I have this?
We have an extra $400 from Flow. You can have everything you
More
want.
gifts with Flow. With Christmas in, win weekly prices up to 10,000 in cash. Sign up for a postpaid bundle or a broadband plan.
We Christmas in with free groceries from Flow. Plus, a chance to win weekly prizes and up to $10,000 cash. Head over to your nearest Flow store or visit discoverflow.co. Flow, we Christmasing.
More gifts with Flow.
DBS News.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Agriculture has named Colmore Shillingford as Farmer of the Year. A number of farmers and fisher folks were recognized this afternoon at the second annual award ceremony hosted by the Ministry of Agriculture. Among the awards were the Fisher Folk of the Year, which went to Clinton Lipla from the community of Maho, and the Livestock Farmer of the Year, Singola Bloomquist Williams. Meantime, Acting Prime Minister Dr. Irving McIntyre reaffirms government's commitment to collaborating with local farmers to address challenges and advance the agricultural sector.
The Ministry of Agriculture, under the guidance of Honorable Roland Roye, continues to make great strides in providing modern infrastructure, training, and financial resources to improve productivity and competitiveness. From rehabilitating feeder roads to ensuring access to credit facilities, we are building the foundation upon which you can continue to grow and thrive. But we know that there is more to be done. Today, this government renews its commitment to addressing the challenges that you face. Keep the line of communication open as you have, and do not be afraid to share with us your ideas and your concerns. Climate change, for instance, presents a significant and growing threat to the livelihoods of those who work in both the land and the sea. While we discover new ways and techniques to remain sustainable, we need to hear from you, the farmers and fishermen, on your ideas and challenges. Access to markets is also an important component. Agro-processors play a critical role in transforming raw materials into finished products that command greater value both locally and internationally. It is through your hard work that Dominica's agricultural products have continued to gain recognition on the world stage.
Acting Prime Minister Dr. Irving McIntyre, Minister for Agriculture Roland Roye highlighted the crucial role of Dominican farmers, especially during difficult times.
In Dominica, agriculture is not just a sector. It is a way of life, a tradition, and an essential pillar of our economic and social fabric. In recent years, we have witnessed firsthand the challenges posed by global disruptions, natural disasters, and climate change. Yet, despite these hurdles, our farmers have demonstrated extraordinary resilience. They have not only fed our nation, but have done so with a deep commitment to sustainability and environmental stewardship. As we look toward the future, food security and working to increase agricultural's contribution to GDP to $700 million by 2030 remains one of our primary goals, and our farmers are central to this mission. From the last Farmers Awards in November of 2023 to date, the Ministry of Agriculture has continued its unwavering commitment to supporting our farmers and advancing the agricultural sector. Through a series of key activities and initiatives, we have made significant strides in improving the livelihoods of our farmers, while also building the capacity of the sector to face future challenges.
Minister for Agriculture Roland Roye. The St. Luke's Primary School received the Most Outstanding Farming Primary School on the Island Award, and the Outstanding Secondary School in Agriculture Award went to Novice Comprehensive School. In other news, Justice Colin Williams has reserved judgment following an application brought by the state this morning for bail granted to double murder accused Jonathan Leher to be revoked. Leher is charged with Robert Snyder for the murder of Eco Resort owner Daniel Langlois and Dominic Machad. Bail has been opened for Leher under tough conditions. Lawyers for the state appeared before the judge this morning asking for the bail to be revoked. Director of Public Prosecutions Shuma Dirampel and lead counsel for the state King's Counsel Thomas Astafan spoke to DBS News about this morning's court proceedings.
We made the application before His Lordship for revocation of the bail granted to Mr. Lera on the 26th of November. His Lordship has reserved his judgment for consideration, and we wait until His Lordship has made his decision.
As you said, that decision was taken just about a week ago. On what ground are you returning to the court just 1 week later?
But I don't know that I'm comfortable to put that into the public domain as yet. But all I can say is it is my opinion that the information we had was sufficient to ground the application, and we acted upon it. I don't want to give any details at this stage. But all I can, let me repeat, it is my opinion that the information we had was of sufficiently grave in nature for us to make the application.
And you're comfortable with the arguments that you brought forth to the court this morning?
Well, I don't want to praise myself. If I were the type of person who was narcissistic and would praise myself, I would say yes. But I leave that for others, not for me.
And you expect a judgment from the court anytime very soon?
No indication from His Lordship, and I'm not going to say anything which would be interpreted as pressure in His Lordship. His Lordship, when he's ready to give his decision, he'll give it and we'll be ready to receive it.
We filed an application for revocation, having obtained certain new information, and this is done. We put this information before the court, and we're leaving up the decision up to the court.
Why you all decided just 1 week later to go back to the court, asking the judge to revoke the bail?
We have received certain information, and we feel that it is in the interest of justice that that information be brought to the court, as that information affects the issue of bail with the accused, and this is why we're bringing this matter up. As I say, it's at the discretion of the court. Bail is not at the discretion of the prosecution, it's at the discretion of the court what the court does. So it's not a matter of being confident, it's a matter of giving the court the information and letting justice take its course.
Director of Public Prosecution Shuma Dirampel and before her King's Counsel Thomas Astafan. A Jamaican gospel band has been named as the headline act for Dominica's Gospel Festival. The event, which will take place on Saturday, 20th December at the Winter Park Sports Stadium, was officially launched this afternoon.
Our main feature is Foster Triplets. They are all from Jamaica. We will have Alda Dizera, professional violinist from London. We will have Leonage, Adventist Gospel Choir from Guadeloupe and Marigoland. We will also have Ricky Niles, saxophonist from Barbados. We will also have James Small, jazz and gospel singer from Barbados as well. And then our local artists, we will have Lina Later, Lily Octave. We will also have Kanisha Aaron. We will have Nile Rove. We will also have Olivia Marie, Michael Farrell, Desna George, Henrik Thomas, and Janelle and Commander Later, Jimina and Narissa Masler, Henrietta Matthews, Adena Antwine, and there will also be a tribute for Orville Dupy. At the event, we are asking that there will be no alcohol drinks, no cigarettes, and no recreation drugs permitted inside of the stadium.
Executive Member of Ben's Anzime Asola Development Committee, D. Helira John Baptist. Acting General Manager of the Dominica Export-Import Agency, Lloyd Pascal, has encouraged small businesses to protect their enterprise through intellectual property IP. Mr. Pascal made the call this morning as Dexia and Caribbean Export hosted the first in a series of sessions on intellectual property.
It's a reality, first of all, and we work closely with you and others in the sectors, And we recognize that more and more we are faced with those challenges regarding IP. And I'm sure as we go along with the training session, you'll get to hear a little more from Mr. Murray in terms of how we can face up to those challenges and how we can better equip ourselves. And the reason we're doing this training is because we want you to be equipped for those challenges when they come your way. Notice I say when, because I didn't say if they come, when they come your way, because eventually you're going to be faced with those challenges as a small business. We envisage that at the end of this training session, or at the end of this series, that we will have, or all of you would be able to register in some form of IP, some form of intellectual property that will help to protect your business and to protect your investment.
Acting General Manager of Dexia, Lloyd Pascal. The session was being facilitated by McCarthy Murray. On the feature segment, Red Cross volunteer Augustus Bruno of Foncole takes the spotlight as Dominica observed International Volunteer Day last week. Mr. Bruno joined the Dominica Red Cross for over 15 years. He is our feature on the DBS Evening News.
I was walking past the office heading down into town, and then I saw they had some activity happening. I was not sure what was going on, but when I came in to inquire, it was to do with World AIDS Day. It was a campaign they had going on, and they had a walk in town sometime in the week. So then when I inquire, they told me what it was about, and then I say, okay, I would have joined because I would like to go out and experience what is going on over there. When I came in, they talked to me, and then after that, I have just been a volunteer for all these years.
What has been the experience like going out there, helping out people in distress, people who are experiencing problems almost any time of the day? What has been the experience like for you?
Well, the experience has been, I would say, rewarding. Because when you go out and you help somebody and they tell you thank you, they tell you God bless you, it really makes you feel like you accomplished something and then you're doing something good. And also, if you're a humanitarian and you're not into money, though money is important, but at the end of the day, it's a voluntary organization, so volunteerism have to be part of you for you to really enjoy the benefits of giving back to people who are less fortunate.
For those who are listening to you and they know about the Red Cross, but they don't know what it entails, can you tell us some of the things that you have to do almost on a daily basis?
For me, on a daily basis, if there's sometimes we do ambulance run, so we have our ambulance service, and then when the people requesting the service call in, then when the information comes, the director then calls you or informs you that and asks you if there's a possibility that you can go out, and if you can, well, most of the time I'm available, so I say I would normally do it. So that's how it is. And then there are other things we do. We have our first aid trainings, we have our basic life support trainings, we also have trainings in mass casualty and disaster management and all these other things.
Do you think there are enough people in Dominica as members of the Red Cross?
Well, I would hope so, and I would like to see more of the young people involved, because it's like I said, it's very rewarding, and if you're into giving back and helping people, the Dominica Red Cross is a place for you.
Have you had the experience going abroad, overseas, to take part in any Red Cross activity?
No, I haven't, but I'm also a volunteer with the St. Lucia Red Cross, so whenever I'm in St. Lucia, I always go there to take part in the activities and help do the same thing I'm doing in Dominica.
What was COVID-19 like for you, the experience working or serving during COVID-19?
Well, I was not in Dominica during COVID-19. I was in St. Lucia, but I was also helping and volunteering with the St. Lucia Red Cross during the COVID era, where we had to help them make packages for people. Because at that time, supermarkets were closed and everything, so we put packages together, and then we went out to the communities and delivered it. So yeah, it was a really good learning experience for me, I would say.
Finally, use this medium to speak to the people of Dominica, particularly the young people.
Well, I would like to send a call to the young people out there that if you feel that volunteering is something that you need to do, or you feel like giving back is something that you need to do, but I advise you to come to the Dominican Red Cross, fill out one of our application forms, and when we have our meetings, we'll come to our meetings, and then as you go along, you become a member and you get more involved, you receive your trainings, and then you will see what it is to be a Red Cross volunteer.
Red Cross volunteer Augustus Bruno. And that's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
Christmas in this year.
Can I have this?
We have an extra $400 from Flow. You can have everything you
More
want.
gifts with Flow. With Christmas in, win weekly prices up to 10,000 in cash. Sign up for a postpaid bundle or a broadband plan.
We Christmas in with free groceries from Flow, plus a chance to win weekly prizes and up to $10,000 cash. Head over to your nearest Flow store or visit discoverflow.co. Flow, we Christmasing.
More gifts with Flow.
DBS News.
In news from the region, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, says Haiti's growth is projected to be barely positive in 2025 and will stabilize at only 1.5% over the medium term, pending further improvements in the security outlook. The IMF said Haiti faces an unprecedented, multi-dimensional crisis encompassing humanitarian, economic, social, and security problems, and that the economy of the French-speaking CARICOM country has a low tax base and a large informal sector. The IMF also said that since the last 2019 consultation, the country has suffered a series of shocks, including the pandemic, a devastating earthquake in 2021, and the economic spillovers of the war in Ukraine, which led to a food crisis that triggered acute hunger. And internationally, Christopher Wray, as the head of the Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI, says he will resign from his post before President-elect Donald Trump takes office next month. Mr. Wray announced his impending departure at an internal FBI meeting today. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has publicly signaled his desire to replace Mr. Wray with Kash Patel. Mr. Wray, who was nominated by Trump in 2017 to serve a 10-year term, has faced criticism during his tenure from Republicans due to the FBI's investigations into Trump after he left office. And that's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next with Gavin Richards.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Well, good evening. I'm Gavin Richards with your DBS Evening Sports Report. We're beginning with cricket news. The Champagne Reef Divers, well, they remained undefeated while the T2 Gorge Splashers continued with their hot start to the 6th edition of the Dream 11 Nature Isle T10 Cricket Tournament as that competition continued today at Windsor Park. In the first game of the doubleheader Wednesday, well, Jamie James bowled the over of his life, defending 9 runs as he helped the D-Threads T2 Splashers to their 3rd win in the Dream 11 IL T10 tournament as they got past the defending champions, the Valley Hikers. Splashers batted first, made 81 for 7. Dylan Douglas got 22, Noel Leo 15, Lex McGlaw 17. Micah Joseph, he picked up 2 for 16, Courtney Ansem 2 for 9, and a wicket each went to Javel St. Paul and Raishon Williams. The Hikers, in search of just 82 to win, were in prime position, but they lost 5 wickets in the final 2 overs, including 3 wickets in the final over, needing just 9 runs for victory, and they were restricted to 77 for 8. Raishon Williams got 23, Zidane Haywood 14, and Vincent Lewis 13. Ryan Williams picked up a 2 for 28 for the Splashers, Lex McGlaw 2 for 12, Delani Alexander 1 for 9, but it was Jamie James with his 3 for 4 in the final over to guide the team to victory to be named the man of the match.
Yeah, I mean, in a situation like that, my team always depend on me and know any kind of bowler I am. So it's hard. It's just good to contribute for my team in that stage of the game.
All right, talk me through the final over. Your first 3 deliveries went for wides. How did you manage to get things back on track?
Well, at the end of the day, the first 3 deliveries I was trying something to. At the end of the day, I changed my line and then I go to the basics, go back to what I did in training, and then it worked for me.
All right, and then the final delivery of the game, when you realized that you had won it for your team, what was that feeling like?
Well, that feeling was real good, trust me, real good. From 9 from the last over to defend that, it's real good in this type of cricket with knowing the kind of players they have. It's real good to defend 9 in the last over.
And that was man of the match, Jamie James. Here now is the winning captain of the D-Threads T2 Splashers, Jelani Robinson.
It's a wonderful game of cricket. Before we went out, we said, we got to 81, they have to get to 81 at least, So the last over, we had a hurdle, asked who won the ball, and Jamie put up his hand and said he wants the ball. So anytime a player asks for the ball, you got to give it to him.
All right, and that sort of confidence there, you really do have to give it to him. But just talk me through the last over, so how he went about things, because it didn't start off too well for him in that final over.
I think credit to the guys out there. He was trying, we had a plan, and at the end of the day, we just had to tell him, keep calm. And if you notice, every ball has gone and talked to him. So at the end of the day, I think it's just about composure, but, the team is bringing in confidence. At the end of the day, if you go defend 100, you have to defend 80 as well. So anytime you want to be in the top, you have to win games like this.
3 wins now for the T2 Splashers, really turning things around this season, but I'm sure you don't want to get too ahead of yourselves.
No, every game is a new game and every day is a new day, so we just take it one day at a time.
Jelani Robinson of the D-Threads T2 Splashers. Well, the Valley Hikers captain Micah Joseph was not pleased with the effort.
Well, early up we started good with the ball, myself in the power play, particularly Vincent. The batting aspect of it, I think we let go ourselves. We were a bit too loose with our shots and our decision making was a bit poor.
You lost 5 wickets in the final 2 overs there. Just talk me through that. So what went wrong?
Honestly, I don't know what was passing with the guys' head. I cannot say. But we just have to go and continue to remain focused on our task ahead.
As defending champions, sort of a shaky start for you guys this time around.
Yeah, everybody's, as I said earlier, everybody's coming at us, but you just have to continue to remain strong.
Valley Hikers captain Micah Joseph. In the other game, well, the Champagne Reef Divers, they remained perfect as they picked up a comfortable win over the Sari Sunrisers. Divers batted first, they got to 110 for 3. Russian Primers, he top scored 49. Cheyenne Brathwaite got 22 and Stefan Pascal 16. A wicket each went to Kyron Phillip, John Matthew, and Darren Ned for the Sari Sunrisers. Sunrisers, in search of 111, they could only get 98 for 7, with Kyron Phillip getting 24, Rick James 25, and Darren Benter 14. Well, Brian Joseph picked up 3 for 12, Kimron George 1 for 18, Joel Dura 2 for 3, and Marlon Williams Goodman 1 for 15. Here now is the winning captain of the Champagne Reef Divers, Stefan Pascal.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the performance. It wasn't the easiest, it wasn't the most free-flowing, but we found a way, and I'm happy with that.
I just want you to expand just a little bit more on that, because what does it say about the character of your team being able to get the runs under such trying circumstances?
Well, it shows our resilience. It shows that no matter what conditions are out there, we find a way, we adjust, and we go from there.
All right, now Primus will get a lot of attention for his performance with the bat, but you also had guys like Brian Joseph, even Joel Durao, who really stepped up in the ball.
Yeah, even before the game, I just told Brian to back himself. He messaged me privately. I wouldn't say what he said, but he wasn't feeling at his confidence. His confidence was in the eyes, so I just told him back himself. And even on the field, I don't know if you could have heard, but I was always telling him to back himself, just back himself, and today he came with a big performance. Kudos to Joel as well, he bowled very well.
Champion Reef Divers captain Stefan Pascal. The T10 action will continue on Thursday. The Barana Oti Warriors will take on the Indian River Rowers at 12 o'clock, and at 2:30 it will be the D-Treads T2 God Splashers up against the Sari Sunrisers. Well, in some more sports this evening, Dominica will be feeling hard done as their match against St. Lucia in the under-15 Windward Islands 50-over cricket tournament ended in a no result this afternoon. The game was reduced to 30 overs a side due to rain. St. Lucia got to 125 for 9 in their 30 overs. Ellen Pascal picked up 3 for 11 and Dylan John 3 for 14. Jillian Bruno and Killan Christmas also took a wicket each for Dominica. While Dominica chasing 126, they were 68 for 1 after 14 overs when bad light stopped play. Alex Armstrong made 33 not out. The game ended in a no result. Let's move on to some football news now. Hat-tricks for Montel Joseph and Shea Etienne as the St. Mary's Academy ran riot over the Pierre Charles Secondary School as the Sports Division Secondary Schools Under-15 football tournament continued this afternoon. While SMA defeated the Pierre Charles Secondary School 10-2 at the Newtown playing field. Scoring for SMA, Montel Joseph and Shea Etienne scored a hat-trick each, while the Mary Frederick and Jeswani Blaise scored 2 goals each, while for the Pierre Charles Secondary School, Fayed Alexander got a goal and the other goal came off a St. Mary's Academy player. Let's go back to cricket news as the West Indies batting coach Floyd Reefer says he's happy with the way that the team executed its plans as they captured the ODI series with Bangladesh. While the West Indies are leading 2-0 in the 3-match series and will play the third and final ODI tomorrow in St. Kitts, where Reefer says that the results are encouraging.
Yes, it's an important series win for us. Before the series started, we set our goals in terms of where we want to be at the end of the series. Obviously, we sit in number 10, but from last year, when we started in 2023, we were like 15 to 17 points behind everybody. So at the end of the series, we should cut that lead down to at least 2 points behind the number 9. So this series was important for us. And in the batting perspective, I think that the guys played really well. Obviously, we had some targets in terms of our batting. When we first started again, our middle over batting was a challenge for us, and this is something that we worked on throughout the last year, and to see it come to fruition now in terms of where we are now, is very good for us.
And that's the West Indies batting coach Floyd Reefer. Reefer says he's also pleased with Shufrin Rutherford's impressive run as of late.
I mean, Shufrin's been doing a lot of work. He's been putting in the extra practice sessions. He's been coming early in the mornings, putting in the extra work. Even at practice, after practice is finished, he put in the extra work, and he's always willing to learn. He's coachable, and he wants to do well. And I'm proud of him because when he came into the cricket, obviously he came in, not playing a lot of games. But once he got that first 50 off his belt, then you saw the confidence in him. We always think that Sheriffin is a very good player. We have confidence in him, and it's good that he's having that good run, in terms of how he bats and batting the spin. We talk a lot about it. We talk a lot about his starts, and we talk about how he finishes games as well because of his ability to strike the ball. So for me, it's about his starts, and once he starts well, then he will finish well.
And that's the West Indies batting coach Floyd Reefer. Well, the third one-day international between the West Indies and Bangladesh will get underway at 9:30 tomorrow morning in St. Kitts. Meantime, Shea Hope has moved to number 8 in the latest ICC ODI batting rankings. The West Indies ODI captain hit 86 in the first one day against Bangladesh in the ongoing 3-match series. Meantime, Shofin Rutherford had the biggest move on the table, jumping 62 places to number 32 in the world. Of course, remember, Rutherford got a century as well in the first match. Well, the world's number 1 batsman is Babar Azam from Pakistan, while the number 1 ODI bowler is Afghanistan's Rashid Khan. Gurukesh Moti at number 9 is is the highest ranked West Indian one-day international bowler. Well, that's your DBS Evening Sports Report. More sporting highlights tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Speaking of 7 o'clock, at 7 o'clock tonight, it's another edition of Off the Field, your number one sports show on the radio. We'll be joined by Delvin Esprit. We'll also have members of the DSFC team football club in the house. We'll discuss some football and lots of other sporting activities going on. So, on behalf of the entire news and sports department, Leila Langford, who brought you the news, and DJ Halo Boy, our links person, I'm Gavin Richards saying good evening.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
And now, your community bulletin board.
Good evening, and we head straight into the general announcements on this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 11th day of December 2024. We begin with this announcement from Domlec. Domlec wishes to inform its customers in the following areas that their electricity supply is currently in interruption until 9:30 p.m. Of course, that interruption started at 6 p.m. and will end at 9:30 p.m. The following communities and areas as follows until 9:30 p.m. tonight: Bourne, Dodan, Pebush, Moorpark, Benim, Belmanier, Thibault, Viecas, Penville, Lahore, Delaford, Ansolda, Ansdime, Benz, Hampstead, Calibishi, Hodges, and Woodford Hill. This interruption is necessary for load management. Dominic appreciates your understanding in this matter and regrets any inconvenience. The public is informed of road closure for blasting operations at the terminal area at the western part of Wesley tomorrow, Thursday, the 12th of December, between the hours of 2:30 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Please be guided accordingly. The National Cooperative Credit Union NCCU informs beneficiaries and signatories of non-profit organizations NPOs accounts that effective immediately, all NPOs must be registered with the Financial Services Unit FSU. Non-profit organizations include charitable, religious, educational, cultural, social effort organizations and associations, private schools, fraternities, and political organizations. To register, visit the FSU office on the 5th floor of the Financial Center, Kennedy Avenue, Roseau, with a valid form of identification and proof of address for all beneficiaries and signatories. Contact the Financial Services Unit at telephone number 266-3514 or 266-3559 for more information. Once registered, submit a copy of your registration or exemption documents to any NCCU branch office and update your organization's account. Your prompt action is required in meeting this regulatory requirement before December 31, 2024. We've come to the end of this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. The next edition is tomorrow morning from 6:10 a.m. with the morning edition of your death announcements and